China declares a state of emergency. Xi Jinping ready to invade Taiwan as China's economy crumbles. China has launched large-scale military drills in the waters around Taiwan in an attempt to scare the self-governed island away from seeking independence. The Chinese military sent planes and 19 warships to encircle Taiwan in exercises aimed at enforcing a full air and sea blockade. China is ramping up its operations around the island, showing off a massive display of military power. They've even deployed hypersonic anti-ship missiles, which analysts say is a warning to the United States not to get involved. This is the largest military drill China has ever conducted, surrounding Taiwan from all directions. Hundreds of warships, fighter jets, missile launchers and artillery units practiced cutting Taiwan off from the rest of the world. To make the threat even more clear, the Chinese military released a video simulating missile strikes on cities like Tainan, Hualien and Taichung. Back in December 2024, China sent nearly 90 warships and dozens of aircraft in what was its biggest naval drill in decades. And even before that, in October, Taiwan tracked 125 Chinese aircraft and 34 warships flying close to its airspace. But these current drills are different. Something feels off. The timing seems way too deliberate. The tone is much more aggressive, and the speed at which they're moving no longer looks like a show of force. It feels like preparation for an actual invasion. And all of this is happening while China's economy is falling apart. Tariffs are choking off exports. American buyers are pulling out. Factories that were built for international trade are shutting down one after the other. For a regime built on control, this is a nightmare. Xi Jinping is backed into a corner with no good options left. And when regimes like the Chinese Communist Party start to feel their grip slipping, even a little, they lash out. That's when their true face shows. That's how things like the Tiananmen Square massacre happen. Remember 2019? When Trump hit China with $200 billion in tariffs? And then just months later, the world was dealing with a deadly virus that came out of Wuhan. Yeah, the Chinese Communist Party never apologized for any of that. Instead, they just acted like nothing happened. And now it's happening again. Tariffs are still crushing Chinese exports. Some have gone up by 145%, even 245%. Once thriving supply chains in China are collapsing. And instead of fixing the problem, Beijing's response has been silence and pride. Because in their eyes, China isn't a struggling economy, it's a global superpower. And when a superpower feels humiliated, it doesn't sit quietly, it pushes back. That's why recent satellite images show a huge military buildup in Fujian province, right across the strait from Taiwan. We're talking Type 63. Amphibious tanks, long-range PHL-191 rocket launchers, Type 305 radar systems, and rapid deployment logistics convoys. Military rail lines into the region are seeing more traffic, and staging areas near coastal bases are full of attack vehicles and mobile missile units. None of this looks defensive. Everything points to one thing: China is getting ready for war. To understand why this is happening, and where it's likely headed, you have to look at how it all started, how one war, one revolution and one warning from the US led to this moment. Taiwan is the last piece of China that Mao Zedong never managed to take, and the US made sure he never would. In this video, we'll break down the historical split between China and Taiwan, how China is planning its invasion and how Taiwan has built a doomsday strategy to wear down Chinese forces. The Chinese Communist Party loves pushing the idea that the mainland is Taiwan's rightful homeland, but in reality Taiwan, officially called the Republic of China, is actually older than the People's Republic of China. We recently posted a video of the Taiwanese president pointing that out. Well, that video got mass reported by Chinese bots and was eventually taken down. There's a good chance the CCP's bots will come after this one too. So if you can do us a big favor, hit the like and subscribe buttons, that really helps us out. Alright, let's start from the beginning. Back in the 19th century, Taiwan was part of the Qing Empire, which ruled most of what we now know as China. But in 1895, Japanese forces captured Taiwan after defeating the Qing in the First Sino-Japanese War. Taiwan was officially handed over to Japan and became a full colony under the Treaty of Shimonoseki.
Japan ruled Taiwan for 50 years, during which it built roads, railways, and schools, but also tried to erase the island's Chinese identity. Taiwan became a supply base for the Japanese Empire, and its people lived under tight Japanese control. Meanwhile, in 1912, the Qing Empire was overthrown and replaced by the Republic of China, which took over mainland China.
Fast forward to the end of World War II. Japan had just been defeated after years of brutal war across Asia and the Pacific. It was finally forced to surrender.
During the surrender talks, the Republic of China sat down with the US and the UK and basically said, "Hey, Japan still controls Taiwan, but it only got it because it beat the Qing Empire. Taiwan belongs to China. Can we add that to the terms of Japan's surrender?" And the Allies agreed.
So, under the post-war terms, Taiwan was handed over to the Republic of China in 1945. Japanese troops on the island surrendered to Chinese forces, and just like that, on paper, Taiwan was back under Chinese control.
With that, the Republic of China, then the official government of all China, now had control over both the mainland and Taiwan. But while they were busy trying to rebuild the country, chaos broke out again. A full-blown civil war. This time, it came from within.
A man named Mao Zedong led the Communist Party in an uprising. After years of bloody fighting, Mao's forces won. He founded the People's Republic of China, the Chinese Communist Party as we know it today.
The old government, the Republic of China, grabbed what was left and fled to Taiwan, clinging to the last piece of China they still controlled.
Mao wasn't happy about losing Taiwan, so he tried to invade, but he failed.
Still, that wasn't the end. Mao immediately started preparing for a second invasion, building up forces along the coast, waiting for the right moment.
But this time, the United States stepped in. Fresh off its World War II victory and entering the Cold War, the US wasn't going to let communism spread further.
Washington made its position very clear. Taiwan wasn't just some disputed island. Congress passed laws promising military support if Taiwan were ever attacked.
And then came a brutal warning to Mao, "If you try it, we'll nuke China."
That nuclear threat stopped everything. Mao backed off. But it also made China realize something. If it ever wanted to be taken seriously as a superpower, it needed nuclear weapons too.
That was the start of mutually assured destruction. Nobody wins, but everyone's too scared to start a war.
Even with the risk of nuclear war hanging over everything, China never gave up on its dream of taking Taiwan.
Mao tried and failed.
Now, Xi Jinping is obsessed with finishing what Mao couldn't, bringing back the lost Taiwan and cementing his place in Chinese history forever. The difference now? China's no longer weak. It's not the broken state it once was. Now, China has nuclear weapons. It has one of the world's strongest militaries, and it's back, louder, more powerful, and more determined than ever to take the island it's never stopped claiming as its own. So far, China's tried everything short of full-on war. Military threats, economic pressure, trade tension, disinformation campaigns, and cyber attacks. Any dirty trick you can think of, they've probably tried it on Taiwan. Beijing hoped all this pressure would break Taiwan from the inside. That daily life would get so hard, so scary, that the people would give up on independence, or at least start to lose faith in their government.
But instead, it backfired. Polls show most Taiwanese still support the status quo, and every time Beijing starts screaming about destruction, Taiwan's distrust only grows. Now, China is out of options. There's only one move left, a hostile takeover, and no one wants to see that happen.
Thanks so much for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. At S News, we're committed to bringing you honest, balanced reporting. See you in the next video.